Hello, everyone. Welcome to the mirror world, where you either vent or be vented.
Is that why we were backwards today?
Yep.
Oh boy.
Knights trying to defeat this Toku war.
The first ever in
Mhm.
in the history of the series. People say Decade started it.
Mm.
Some people say Gokaiger started it.
Oh, definitely not.
Some people say that the Ultramen started it.
How? When?
You know, people just talk. You know, team ups and all that stuff. But it was actually here that we had an actual, from my research on this series, this was a confrontational series that they did. And again, you probably asked me, what do you mean by confrontational or some type of drama? It had to take an event so big that it shocked the world for them to change the formula of what a Kamen Rider is.
Oh, yeah. And this is also the first time the Kamen Rider designs were not insect-based. I mean, the main characters still have the bug eyes, but everyone else doesn't.
I mean, Ryuki totally changed the game because of certain world events that happened, but also the fact that behind the scenes during this time, 2002, I believe it is the year. Before that, 2001, they were actually with Kuga and Agito. They were kind of like, successful as these shows were, it's what a lot of people have said about them, and more so in Japan, was it's all the same. It's all the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like, rider, someone gets to be a rider, evil organization, world domination. Nothing changes.
Yep.
And for a minute there, they were kind of like, well, what if we made a new series, a new show? Not quite Kamen Rider, not Sentai, but not Metal Heroes either. Like somewhere around just like a hero show involving knights. But then, well, let's just say it. It's not going to get us flagged or anything. September 11th happened.
Yep.
A year before. Actually, not even a year, a couple of months before.
Mm-hmm.
And during that time, they were kind of like racking their heads and like, okay, what do we do? What are we trying to do? I believe it was the producer of the show. One of the producers of the show, very famous producer, I forget his name, but he said, we need to change up Kamen Rider. For better or for worse, we need to do something. Because, and by his words, and I have it right here highlighted, the justice that we show children isn't black and white. We say it is. Only the producers know what it really is. So in simpler terms, he's like, let's cut the bull. Let's cut it. Yeah. What do you mean? The hero, I mean, look at Batman, look at Superman, look at Spider-Man, the X-Men, look at all of them. the age of the Boy Scouts of doing good for the sake of good. Who does that in this day and age? There was a lot going on in Japan too at the time. The 90s, we had talked about it in Kamen Rider Black about the cult that was going on, that was kind of based off of Gulgum, in which that's why the show kind of went the way it went. And that didn't end until like 97, 98, I think. It was around for a while. And just like, again, all that had come out, the politicians, the police, the people that were in their pockets, it's like, well, what if we did that in the show? What if we did that? Like, what do you mean? Well, what if we had the Kamen Rider, right? But we have another rider, right? But they're not friends. They're not allies. In fact, one is trying to kill the other one. So basically what we did with Black. No. This is not because of some destiny or some type of, the grand cosmos of things. No. It's pretty much just like the Highlander, only one. There can only be one. And what is that one we're talking about?
Well, we are here to discuss Kamen Rider Ryuki, episodes 1 through 6.
SSAP-0601.
Yes.
Yes. Again, a lot of people are like, wait, what? What do you mean? What do you mean it's controversial? Yeah, because this is probably the first show in a Kamen Rider series where the hero is the Boy Scout, but everyone around him is pretty much a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
You ever notice, like, again, even back in Black and Black RX, there were people there, but they were like, if they were on the Kamen Rider side, they were like good people and helped out the Kamen Rider and helped out your fellow man and whatnot. Here, no. Everyone has got their own reasons for doing things. Everyone has got their own motives. No one is safe in this show. Nobody, not even children within these first 6 episodes. I'm like, what? We're really going into the kids thing, aren't we?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm like, my God, are we going to kill children? Oh, we were close. We were close. Yeah, the reason why I say controversial is because again, this is just coming from Japanese media and Japanese polls. The older crowd, the older fans of Kamen Rider, they love Agito and Kuga and all that stuff but the thing was, if you look at Agito and Kuga, it's pretty much a Heisei like Kamen Rider series from the Showa era, but just in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of like the thing that it's like, you guys haven't really changed much. You haven't really changed much in the Kamen Rider series. That's why they're like, no. We're gonna change it. We're gonna change it. We're gonna change it. Change it to what? We're gonna do Battle Royale. We're gonna do Battle Royale. Did you know? Fun fact. Did you know that I think it was Kuga? Did you know Kuga was actually supposed to have 10 riders in its series?
Well, and that I did not know. But I did know that when what's his name? The actor Joe Odoner or whatever his name was, I forgot his full name. It was Joe something. When he was approached by the showrunner, he's like, I'm going to destroy Kamen Rider as we once knew it. And then Joe's like, you son of a bitch, I'm in.
That was for what? Kuga or Ryuki?
Kuga.
Okay. Yeah, because the thing is that, Kuga originally, supposedly in the early productions, they wanted to have 10 Kamen Riders in in that show. What that would have detailed, that varies by the sources. But, and here's another fun fact, and I'm like, how would you have done that? Ryuki was supposed to have 50 Kamen Riders. 50. Which supposedly, let us skip over one. Let's skip over Fives for a minute. The whole thing of the 50 riders and whatnot, the war that was supposed to happen. Apparently, that was tweaked and edited to be the theme for Blade.
Mm.
So all the
with the 53 undead.
All the undead that we saw, because they talked and they were, those were also supposedly the premise for Ryuki having all these riders. But it's like, well, wait, Ryuki only had like 32, or some odd monsters. They didn't. Well, that's the thing. As Mike and all of us kind of did 2 weeks ago with the movie, there's some Kamen Riders that don't even show up in the main series. So technically, there are 13, but we don't get to see all of them. We only get to see 10?
Ryuki, out of 13 riders that were promised to us, we only see 10 in the show.
Yeah, so out of the 13 that they say in the show, there's only 10.
Yeah, and just so we're clear, alternate and alternate zero do not count. They make it very clear that that's an artificial system. But that's kind of what I appreciate about Dragon Knight, the American adaptation in 2009. When they said 13 riders, they delivered. And in the case of Verde, he wasn't just there for 15 minutes. No, he was there for 2 whole episodes, 3 if you count the finale.
The whole thing with the thing with Dragon Knight, you're right. They did kind of bring them all in, which was good. I kind of was wondering where that whole that meme of the chameleon deck came in. And I'm like, no, that's a Dragon Knight meme. That's not a Ryuki meme. Which I'm like, how come? Why is Verde here if he's not even in the damn show? We just saw him 2 weeks ago, and that's all we're ever going to see of him. Which I will say, I actually do like Verde's look.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that we don't.
What's funny is that a while back, I was a part of a group, and we had plans to cosplay as all 13 riders, mind you, as the civilian versions. And one person even said they're going to buy the entire deck set, all of the DX rider decks, so that all each of us has to do is just get the one V buckle for ourselves, pass it out, and then all of us would be the 13 riders. And I was going to be Verde. Not going to lie. I'm not the best character in my opinion, but that's the person I was assigned. So I was ready to buy a brown suit and a V buckle so that I could be Kamen Rider Verde. And I even did a thing where on Climax Heroes 5, I did an arcade campaign where I'm playing as Verde because all 13 riders are playable in that game. So I fought Odin as Verde. I fought Kabuto as Verde. I fought Ichigo as Verde. Just to prove a point that I'm committed to cosplay this character.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, our cosplay group plans did not follow through. We got disbanded. It's a darn shame too, because I think in our entire group we had 11 people lined up. So just disappointed. It did not follow through. But yes, Verde. Even my profile picture on FB back when I used to use it was a Verde. It was a picture of Verde.
Yeah, no, I feel like some of the riders looking into their infos and especially the ones we don't see a lot of, I'm like, why weren't these some of the focus? Why the hell did we have to focus on generic characters and then comes the interesting ones like Oja and everything else? I'm like, wait, why did we spend so much time with the crab or with this one? But Yeah. Let's see the notes here. The show's producers were again legendary Shinichiro Sakakura and Naomi Takabe, which these people have worked on past Sentai, Kamen Rider, and Metal Hero series. So they got pedigrees in writing shows. I think both of them worked on Shinkenger, Mega Ranger, Time Ranger, like just all around shows that people love so much. So because of the attacks of 9/11, they just decided, you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna throw a wrench into what Kamen Rider is. We're still gonna keep because the higher ups demand it. We're gonna keep the main character as a Boy Scout because that is pretty much what Shinji is in this series. He pretty much is the Boy Scout. For everyone else, well, it depends if you think they're an asshole or a jerk or just irritating or just bland, you know. That's kind of the thing that they were trying to do with this show was to give a different perspective of what it is to be a hero. And also the fact that, you know what, why is it that for some reason, just by chance, some archaeologist or some college kid or whomever just happens to become a Kamen Rider? They just like, oh, you were chosen. What happened if you just either just got roped into it or just blindly accepted it?
Yeah, see, this is why I love that one line from Death Note. Like, you think you're special? You think you're the chosen one? No, I just dropped the book at a random place, and it just so happens you were at the right place and the right time to pick up the book. And because English is the most commonly spoken language, that's the language I wrote the rules in. You're not special. You just happen to be in the right place at the right time.
You just happen to be there. Whether you say it's good or bad, that's, again, it's all a point of view. Because some people would say finding the Death Note is actually a good thing when some would say you're fucked. Because isn't that kind of the purpose of like just randomly finding something? Like, this isn't like finding money or something on the ground. No, this is... We're dealing with dimensional monsters and also a game of life and death that anyone is actually could be involved in. In fact, the opening to Ryuki is somewhat like messed up if you think about it.
Like the opening scene or the opening theme song?
No, I'll get onto that right now. The opening sequence, like what we're seeing on the screen, again, this is a game that we are playing. I know that what's-her-face, Reiko, who's one of the reporters, is kind of like, this isn't a game. This isn't like, oh, baby, how you are so wrong. How you are so wrong. Because the opening credits, we see Shinji at one scene. And then we see Ren, and we see, what's-her-face? Yui. And then random people with their faces scribbled, but all of them have a card. And 3 of these people are children.
Yep.
Now, again, no spoilers. There are no kids here. There are no kid riders in this show. But it foreshadows what is happening in this series. Is that anybody... In fact, there were 3 children, 2 women, and 2 elderly people in the sequence.
Yeah, I remember when Squid Game first came out, and people were like, "Oh my god, this is the coolest thing ever." I'm like,
"Have you seen
it? How is it not the coolest thing? Like, how are you not impressed?" I'm like, "Because I've already seen Ryuki. This Korean TV show ripped off Ryuki." And you're really emphasizing that point because like, spoiler alert for those who haven't seen a Squid Game season 3, a newborn baby is counted as a contestant on Squid Game.
Yeah.
So imagine, and to be fair, in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, an 11-month-old baby was a stand user that was trying to kill the main characters.
Yeah. There's
of course, a little kid could.
There's also that Korean drama that's on Netflix called Hellbound.
Yeah.
Which, to sum it up, 3 muscular Hulk-looking demons appear, and they kill and attack people at random. But you are marked. You are marked to And so far, it's just been adults. At the end of the series, children and babies are getting marked. So it's like, Squid Game. Oh, yeah, dude, I've seen that already. I already know. I'm probably gonna watch it. Maybe I haven't yet, but I probably will at some point. But it's not like I haven't seen it before. It's not like I haven't read something like this before. Gantz is also a very prominent manga that goes on the same premise, except the fact you're not dead when you get picked out of random. In fact, no, you're just picked out of random. You're not. It's not like, I will. You have no choice until you get 100 points to either level up or get out. But either or. The sequence of Ryuki, the opening title, the sequence is really, really messed up for that 2-3 seconds there. Because, it pretty much just shows that this is anybody can get involved in this. Anyone. So that's just to show you the level of show that we're dealing with right now. In terms of the opening, the opening was Alive a Life, which is obviously a banger. Obviously a banger for I have not seen Ryuki, and yet I have heard Alive a Life many a times, and I'm like, okay, that's good. That's good. Who sings?
Yeah, it's Rika Matsumoto, who not only plays Akiba MILF in Akiba Ranger.
Yes,
I'm kidding. That's the actual name of the character.
Yeah,
and she becomes Bundario in Bundaria Bundaris in Bakuage Sentai Boom Boomger.
Yes.
One of the best characters of all time, and Ash Ketchum. But what's really interesting to me about Rika Matsumoto is growing up as a kid, I mostly most of my exposure to music was either half a dozen Queen songs, mainly We Will Rock You and Killer Queen, just literally those 2 songs, to be honest, and a bunch of Soviet songs, but most prominently was this one particular singer, Alla Pugacheva. And for those of you who haven't listened to Alla Pugacheva, you have to listen to her music. It's amazing. But what's really interesting is that when I hear Rika Matsumoto sing, I swear her voice sounds just like Pugacheva's voice. To be fair, as a grown up, you kind of understand it. Yeah, they're both mezzos. So of course, they have the same vocal range. So of course, they're going to sound very similar. But also, Japanese and Russian music back in the day had some overlap in in certain cultural aspects, even to the point that Ghost in the Shell's theme songs were played by a singer named Origa, which her name is Olga in Russian. She's a Russian singer. But yeah, so it's hearing Alive for the first time, I'm like, this takes me back to when I was a little kid, because it takes me back to music I grew up on, and it's and then when it gets to that last chorus, with that musical pause, dun, 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 it's oh my god, her voice just hits you hard.
For everyone who did not catch that, Miss Matsumoto is the voice of Satoshi Ash Ketchum from Pokemon. Yes. Who not only did the voice of Ash for 20 some odd years consecutively, but also did the first opening theme song for the Pocket Monster anime. When America got the Pokemon theme song, that was, originally they said that they were gonna use Miss Matsumoto's opening, but Americanize it. It's just that for some reason it didn't translate well. That's why they went into doing the Pokemon theme song. So regardless,
most American openings for anime get more hate than they deserve.
look,
The
it
one
was
that
the
doesn't
90s.
get as much hate as it should get is Fighting Foodons. That's
It
like
was the 90s, all right. And again, so many people are like, I'll say it and I'll say it full of Gen Z, Gen Alpha, you guys are cringe as hell because everything to you guys is cringe. You have to understand that's all we had back then.
yeah.
That's all we had. And either or, you either liked it or you didn't. And it's like, all right. But then when you finally hear the Japanese opening, you're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
You know how much of a nugget that was for our ears to hear, like the original theme songs, like, Digimon being one, you had the Digirap, and then you go and listen to Butterfly.
Yeah.
Obviously, Pokemon, that's one of two things. Like, you could most people talk about the English openings more than they do the Japanese. But it is true that, this woman who is Ash Satoshi and did the Pokemon anime is also, which another reference to this show, because that even bled into Blade, she's also Bakura from Yu-Gi-Oh! She's Ryo Bakura. So, put that. This woman is definitely someone to put the respect on it. She did an amazing job with this opening that even if you've never seen Kamen Rider, you listen and you hear it and you're like, yes, this is going to be good. But enough of the formalities. Right now, we're going to go into a show that literally caused the old fans to get mad and a whole new generation, including us, to be like, this is probably the greatest Kamen Rider series that there ever has been.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, I know a lot of people want to say, are you not going to mention Dragon Knight? Well, we kind of already did on this channel, not me included.
During the what we refer to as the 6 weeks of silence, we did a 3-part retrospective on Dragon Knight. The retrospective is uploaded to our YouTube channel because I had to figure out how to download videos directly off of Facebook and then re-upload them to YouTube. And I made new thumbnails for them because, things change over time. And so you can watch all 3 parts on our YouTube channel. Although getting them from Facebook was hard because Facebook is not really good at scrolling back to much older videos. Yeah. And even on YouTube, while the scrolling is easier, it's like I uploaded them onto the YouTube channel so long ago, like I think 2022,
the whole thing with Ryuki is that came out of nowhere. That just shocked a lot of American viewers, and I'm like, especially for those who vaguely knew of the Kamen Rider like I did. But for a lot of people, like, oh yeah, no, I like Ryuki better because like it just sounds cooler and it looks cooler. It's a lot more, and like the name, like just calling it Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, it's just so lazy. I'm like, okay, hold on right there, my guy. Let's take a look at the word Ryuki. Ryu is dragon, and then you look at Ichi or E, which is again, if you look at the kanji, it's abbreviated of Kishi, which is knight.
Yeah, like Kishiru Sentai, which should have been about dragon knights.
Should have been.
Instead of being about dinosaurs. So, but yes, if you do want to watch our retrospective from way back in 2020, yes, they're here on YouTube. Here are the thumbnails, so you know what they look like.
But the point is like people want to say, "Oh, that's so lazy. Call it Dragon Knight." The Japanese basically translate to Dragon Knight.
Yeah.
So regardless, the English actually kind of was spot on with translating. So when I hear people saying like, "Oh, Dragon Knight just sounds so plain, sounds so generic," this is a story about knights. That's kind of like was their thing that they were trying to do. So Kamen Rider Dragon Knight and Kamen Rider Ryuki, both title wise, it's the same.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's see what this show is about. So
first 6 episodes, they're all
mirrors.
First 6 episodes, they're all 2-parters, which is great.
Mirrors are pretty much our thing here. Reflective surfaces, not just glass, but metals. Hell, even a polished floor
or water.
Anything that's reflective is like, kind of like, oh crap, because we start off with a young lady who just happens to be going home, but we notice a mysterious sound, which only can be by what most people have called mirror sound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As she's walking home. Supposedly the effect of this was actually made by rubbing, editing and tweaking, moving a guitar string through sheets of glass. Which, God, I hope the person who was doing that had some earplugs. Because I can only imagine. I can only imagine the sounds that would make. Mm-hmm. So far. Oh, and by the way, this is actually this is all gonna be filmed on that super high def film that we kind of ragged on with Blade and Fies.
Yeah.
Like that very like it looks like an earlier HD, but it's not. It just happens to be sped. It's just the frame rates is like super fast when they're recording.
Yeah, I was like really surprised by like how like fluid all the motion was on the show.
Yeah. It takes you a minute to like actually like for your eyes to like focus on that, because you start like, wait, that looks weird. That looks weird.
And watching it for the first time, because like I didn't know the year of any of the Kamen Rider seasons, like I'm like, so it's like Ryuki from like 1996 or 2002.
Yeah, I know. Again, not knowing what year this was, 2002, that Agito, Kuga, Ryuki, Fies, and the first 10 episodes of Blade was when they stopped, because you noticed that we didn't mention in our Blade review that the frames had fallen to what we typically would see nowadays.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and also there is CG here. There is CG. They really, really utilize the CG here, because
they use it better than Cosmos.
Yeah, I know. I mean, people want to say, "Oh, that looks so crappy." Your face looks crappy. Again, 2002, people, come on. The PlayStation had just barely come out. We were literally, our jaws dropped. We're like, oh my God, the future is now. Yeah. And you probably look at it and be like, oh my God, those graphics are so horrible. Shut up. But yeah, we see creepy crawly legs on a car in the puddle, on mirrors. And again, Japan is a place that a lot of their buildings use a lot of mirrors. So, damn it. We see this young girl go to her apartment, but she keeps hearing the sound. I don't know why she hears the sound, but she just hears it. For some reason, she goes and she's like, yeah, I'm going to go to bed. And she notices that there is something around her neck, but there's nothing there. She actually feels like there's nothing there. Yeah. Only for her to finally get choked to death. Mm-hmm. Play that Michael Jackson song.
Yeah.
I'm getting strangled by a man in the mirror. Yeah. No joke. Yeah. We just see a pointed claw come in and grab her and pull her into the mirror.
At first, she like sees like the web, and he's like, huh? I don't see a web on me in real life, but I'm seeing it in my reflection. It's like, shh.
And then she just gets snatched completely. It's like, man, I think I've seen this in a horror movie once.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, actually, I've seen this as a kid. It's from a show called The Curse of Cowardly Dog.
Oh yeah.
No, stop.
Also, just for a thing here, and I had to look it up. I could be wrong. There is a scene, I think it's within this episode or the next one, where Shinji is like investigating, and he goes to a house. I'm like, isn't that the house that they use for the ring? Isn't that the Ringu house?
Yeah.
Well, there's your culprit right there. There it is. I'm like, I cannot verify if it is. It just looks exactly like that house. Looks exactly like, but then again, it's like, well, it's Japan. Not like they don't have homes like that all over the place, you know. But well, I mean, it'd be crazy if it was the Ringu house. Yeah, the poor girl gets like sucked in, and we're like, what happened? What happened? We just hear a scream, and it's like,
yeah,
don't know.
And then we see a mysterious man dressed like a bat.
Yeah. We see two figures, a young lady and a young man, and apparently I get in the night type of vibes, which don't go anywhere because we go into our opening sequence. Mm-hmm. But enough of that. We go into the main story, which it took me a minute to remember. I'm like, oh yeah, newspapers were a thing back then, or a very big thing.
And text messages.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the text messages.
Old school text messages
on the flip phones. Yeah, people are like, oh, Japan is Japan still uses a lot of flip phones. I don't know if you noticed that when you were there. Japan still uses it. They use a lot. A lot of people use a lot. Like flip phones are still a thing in Japan.
Yeah, like, right now, like the only right now, from what I've seen, people mostly use smartphones to use as tap cards to go use the metro more than as actual phones.
Yeah, and they still have like flip phones, which are more reliable, supposedly they say. Yeah. You know, for protection and whatnot. I'm like, all right, but yeah. We get to meet our cast of really, from what I understand, just a bunch of randos that just happen to be in the episodes that have nothing to do with the show except for just being there. So
yeah. So we get a good view of the Shibuya 109 building, which I did a photo of when I was in Shibuya. I'm like, hey, it's a place for Ryuki. But yeah, no. So Ore newspaper is the prequel to The Office. I'm just kidding. Yeah. So we got 4 employees. You got the nerdy girl that becomes smart lady. You got Reiko. That's her.
Really, yeah. Is that really her? Because I was just like,
that's really her. Take the glasses off and dye her hair blue.
I was like, I've seen that face before. Where have I? So it's Smart Lady.
Yes.
Okay, so she was a weirdo.
All the humans and orphanogs, they will start to dance and sing, and they cannot control it. It will get the Fies gear.
Yeah, I kind of was like, wait a minute, who the heck is? Well, yeah, no, I mean, she's the one weirdo girl. Because I don't know what it is about the 90s and the 2000s, but anyone who worked with computers was just considered a weirdo or just a complete dork, you know? Obvious references being Steve Urkel from Family Matters and Billy Cranston from the Power Rangers, you know? It's like, why did you have to give him like the glasses and the big sweaters and the overalls? Like, why? Like, I mean, because that's just what computer geeks are, right? They're eccentric. Not all of them. Not all of them. In fact, coding was actually coding's not really that hard, honestly. I don't know how they made it sound so difficult. But yeah, so Smart Lady, pre-Smart Lady, is what is her name? I don't even think we should even remember her name because it's like just she's just there for the sake of being there.
Yeah.
Well, there's Daisuke, there's Riko, there's Nanako, and then there's Megumi.
Yeah. and the boss. Like, basically, it's like, why do you only have a weird photo of me in the staff pic? And, like, turns out the only pics they have of him is where he's belligerently drunk, wearing no shirt, and he's, like, goofing off. So for the entirety of this two-part episode...
That's Daisuke. That's the chief and editor of
the
board.
So for the entire two-part episode, Smart Lady, she basically has to spend her entire day trying to Photoshop a nice suit over his face. Sorry, over his body. Can't do anything about his face though, but
I'm like, yeah, so I mean I know it's a thing to like go out with your coworkers in Japan, but I'm like, you couldn't find a better photo of him. And yeah, her name is Nanako Shimada. Again, we're saying their names, but in all honesty, they're not going to really play too much into the show. Maybe mainly just for a second, but yeah, mainly just kind of a background. But yeah, Nanako was portrayed by what is her name? God Almighty, I cannot find this woman's name. Well, anyway, it's Smart Lady, regardless. Oh, I've gone solo. So yeah, Nanako is just, trying to make the president look good, obviously. And because, we're trying to make our tabloid journal newspaper look professional. And we only have one capable reporter, which is most of the focus on these episodes is Reiko Momoi. She is the ace reporter for these people, which again doesn't really say much because there's only like one reporter, minus Shinji. Which we do focus on Shinji for a bit because Shinji is let me get his full name. Shinji is Shinji Kido. We say Kiddo. It's like, yeah, Shinji. Oh boy, what can I say about Shinji? Shinji is pretty much your Boy Scout character. He is young, he is brash, he wishes to become a journalist. He wishes to find the facts and to report to everybody the truth of what is out there, but he's also looking out for his fellow man. I know it's a lot of bull, right? But we need that character in the show. The producers pretty much mandated it. So Shinji is our overall good boy in the show, which in these 6 episodes, normally you're kind of like mixed with the Kamen Rider of like who or what they are, what they do. Shinji here is just an overall good boy for now, until the time comes that we must break him. But yeah, Shinji is late to work because he just happens to get into a fender bender because, well, he wasn't involved with the fender bender, but he just happened to see it and he's arguing with the people about it, trying to get a scoop or whatever, which doesn't really go anywhere. The banter between him and his employers, it's comedical. But we fast forward to the crime scene of which what happened, where the girl disappeared. His partner, his teacher, Miss Riko, is there taking notes. Obviously, Shinji's making a scene, which causes the police to come out, and they're like, what the heck, blah, blah, blah. Like, you guys are always like, you damn tabloids. And I'm like, yeah, the paparazzi, man. Jesus, I can't get rid of them. Only for that to be like, hey, whatever. We do bump into Ren and Yuri in this part of the episode. You're back. I was just getting to the part where we bump into
Yui and Ren, yeah.
Yeah. So we're trying to figure out what happened because there are no clues of what happened to this young girl. We do see that apparently the mirror is still active because her hair clip gets like transported back out. I'm guessing that whatever got her doesn't eat plastics. But regardless, yeah, kind of weird that Ren and Yui are just there, which again Shinji is kind of like suspicious of them being there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else happened. What else happened in this episode? So apparently Ryuki gives Shinji she kind of rips him a new one about like, you know, how your etiquette, and if you're going to be a journalist and this and this and that, you got to be, you know, more professional and all of that. So don't just follow me. Go investigate and find some leads yourself, which leads Shinji into going to an abandoned apartment building, or what it seems abandoned. I don't think it is, which he comes across a dragon in the reflection. He doesn't actually see it. He just sees a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And doing so, you know, he kind of like, wait, what? And he finds a card. Ooh, a card. It says trap or seal on the card. Well, he doesn't really get why. But next thing you know, this Chinese-looking dragon comes shooting out of the mirror and then attacking him. But because he kind of put his hands up and having the card in his hand, it reflected the dragon away, but causing Shinji to get thrown back into the apartment sands through glass. Although we see Yui and Ren kind of like, oh, it's appeared again. Again, I'm like, Shinji. And again, who's going to believe Shinji that he saw a Chinese dragon come out of a mirror? And again, the whole premise of this is like, wait. So what's going on? I thought if this is our main character, he's got to be the Kamen Rider. Why is the dragon attacking him? It's not that simple, guys. It's not that simple. Fast forward a little bit, we do get a little bit of we finally get a confrontation. What's been attacking people is a spider. Not an overused trope in Kamen Rider, but okay. A spider for our first episode.
Tale's oldest time.
I have not seen this 5 or 6 times.
Just on this podcast.
But it's also like, but Steve, at least they didn't use a bat.
Oh boy.
And if you don't understand, go back and watch the episode. We have a spider and a bat in these first 2 episodes. Sheesh. Yeah, Ryuki is actually targeted by the spider. Whatever this thing is, it's targeted her, and it's, again, I know it was high tech at the time, but a smart car? A pod core?
Yes.
Okay.
Smart cars, not very smart.
Okay. I mean, you want to talk about like, you know, like an electric car? Seriously, I'm like, those look like those little micro cars you had back in the day. They just go that you had played when you were a little kid. But yeah, she tries to start her car, doesn't start because why? Because she's actually targeted by the spider. And that's when Ren decides to jump in, and because we're noticing that this thing is starting to attack, and we have to do something. Shinji, on the other hand, is kind of like, he does see it, he does hear it, makes it seem like he's a victim, but he decides to play the game and whatnot. Yeah. Although
more accurately, he accidentally gets sucked into the window of a car
after having a little like confrontation, a little like, you know, with Yuri about, are you a Kamen Rider? And he's kind of was like, what's that? Like, that's a good question. What is that? And then he gets sucked in through the looking glass via what looks like a Toyota Corolla.
Yeah. And when he comes out the other end, he has sort of a bug-eyed black armor.
See, that was
because it kind of looks like the armor he wore in the opening theme, But it's odd because in the opening theme, he had a red suit. But
then
here
this
it's
is kind of like a grayish black color, which is like
graphite color.
Yeah, so it's like, wait a minute, he's supposed to be the Kamen Rider. What? No, guys, hold on a minute, okay? Hold on. You just chill. You're gonna get the explanation. But again, this is kind of what like was kind of weird to me with both Ryuki and Dragon Knight was the fact that okay, we have this grill and whatnot on Ryuki, obviously, right? But very emphasis on the compound eyes. Like, oh, this looks cool. It's like but then it's got like those circular grasshopper eyes on it. I'm like, again, young me, I was like, that looks weird compared to Knight.
Yeah.
Like Knight looks a lot cooler than Ryuki does.
Yeah. And also when you see the suit up close, you kind of do see like blue slanted eyes.
No, Knight, along with the other Kamen Riders, they have like their visors or whatever. They do have eyes behind them. It's kind of like Knight gives off like a metal hero, like a Spielbahn or like something like around those lines, like Gavon or Spielbahn type of vibes in terms of their eyes, But they're blue. It's very hard, but there are some scenes where you actually do get to see the eyes in Knight's outfit. Yeah, no, nothing really goes down here other than
Shinji finds out that like he could like put a card into this thing on his arm.
Yeah.
Sword Bento. And
again, very heavily influenced by Yu-Gi-Oh, by the way. Like, seriously, like I know we said that Blade was the Yu-Gi-Oh, and many other Kamen Rider series have referenced Yu-Gi-Oh, and Yu-Gi-Oh has even referenced Kamen Riders, but this right here is where it started. It is even said by the producers, yeah, we kind of saw the popularity of it, and we just decided to go for it.
Yeah, so Ryuki does fend off the spider a little bit. But then the dragon shows up, and now the two riders are being chased by the dragon.
It's that meme of the little kid in the raincoat running away from the T-Rex. And just like, it's like, hey, there's the ally. No. What's it doing? It wants to eat you. That's why you hear the ringing in your ear. That's why you hear it. Because that's just to give us a fair warning that there is a mirror monster coming out. No, that's what they're called in this series. They're called mirror monsters.
Yeah. And they have multiple classifications.
Yeah, well, I mean, comparative wise, we had the Orphanux and the Undead and the Fangires, the Oni. These were simpler times. So, Mirror Monster, okay. Yeah. But, then we go into episode 2. We continue off where, the dragon is attacking our Kamen Rider. It's like, wait, you're supposed to be... No, man. See, you're right. We are, kind of the same, but Ren tells him, look, man, we gotta go. Because we start noticing that Shinji is evaporating. Like, just shortly but surely, he starts to evaporate. It's like, we gotta go. If you value your life, we gotta go. We gotta get out of here. Mm-hmm. And apparently no one taught Shinji how to warp. Because he actually he actually breaks through a window and gets attacked by the dragon. It's actually by the force of the dragon that knocks him out of the mirror world, unconscious in front of Yui and Ren. And from there, we get a bit of we get some explanation on Yui's end of what's going on. Mm-hmm. So Ren is just being like the cool guy, the badass here, but Yui's just being like a sweetheart and just kind of lore dumping on Shinji. It's like, yeah, look, those things are called mirror monsters, and if you hear them, that means you know that they're around, and it's best for you to just get away from reflective surfaces. But again, you're in Metro Japan, you're in Tokyo, wherever it is. That's kind of a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it's I mean, but it's like, so what's up with that dragon? It's like the dragon's trying to eat you. Like, but I'm surprised that you've lasted this long. Well, I mean, it was going to, but it's like, oh, so you found a card. Because Shinji had a card. Yeah, yeah. See, if you have that, you could seal it away and it won't bother you again. It's like, okay. So, it's best that you just, if you do that. But again, also a little bit of, do you know someone by the name of
Kenzaki?
And he's like, no, don't know him. And I'm like, what is this, Mobile Fighter G?
Have you seen this man? He owes me $20.
Although it's crazy though, because Shinji does kind of stumble upon a house that had the name Kenzaki on it, and it looked abandoned. Again, it's like, isn't that the house from The Ring? Mm-hmm. Looked like it, but then again, it's the 2000s. That style of houses was actually very popular. Shinji again gets ragged on by his employers because he just disappeared without saying anything. And Miss Smart Lady over here is still using Photoshop to try to edit that very, very suggestive photo of the editor.
Yeah.
Although I'm like, you know what? In these just couple of episodes, I like you. I like her. Just with who she is. I'm like, you know what? This is far more better than Smart Brain Lady, honestly.
Yeah. Life is short, life is frail, so think about true life.
Yeah.
Or as we start.
We do get a bit, obviously a little bit more info, obviously, that the disappearances that have happened were because of these mirror monsters. Because, just like nature, everything's got to eat. So if you happen to be targeted, well, unless you're a Kamen Rider, which she has said, you have a fighting chance. But if not, well, so everyone that disappeared or whatever, that's like, yeah. And there are a lot of missing people's posters all over this place. So I'm like, so it's not just a clown that is attacking people. It's not just the clown in the grate. It's not just Tim Curry or Bill Skarsgård in the sewer. Well, what next? What else is happening here?
Yeah, we do more investigating of the disappearances.
Yes. Let's see. What else? Investigations. God, wait. I had it. Well, we did not beat the spider. The spider
we just simply chased it away.
We chased it away. It does come back though. It does come back. But my God, why am I spacing out right now? We do have a talk with Ren with Shinji about like what's going to happen, because the investigation is just like, yeah, there are so many people that are going missing. And Ren is like, look, if you see the dragon again, because that's the thing, Ren is like Moby is like Moby Dick right now. He's Ahab trying to find this dragon and trying to kill it, but it's locked on to Shinji. That's why Ren is locked onto him, because he follows Shinji. Most likely, the dragon will appear.
Yeah,
and well, Ren just says, "Look, if it does appear, use the seal and seal it. Okay, don't get involved." And Shinji, being the good boy that he is, and I want to be a hero type, doesn't really pay attention, because we do get the moment where the dragon does appear again. And well, again, the reason why is because the spider came back, but now the spider has metamorphized. It now has a humanoid body, which kind of looks like the crab on top of it, which causes Ren to actually fight it. And Ren is actually getting his ass kicked at this point. Like, apparently this is too much for him to handle, which Yui is just like, we have to do something. We have to save him. And Shinji's like, well, it's like, look, the dragon's here. You gotta go. You gotta leave. You can't stick around. And he just takes the trap card and rips it in half. It's like, wait, what? You do know that was your only protection against the dragon, right? He's like, well, I'm like him, right? I can be a Kamen Rider. I'm like, and just the look on Yui's face.
No.
Look on her face when he says that. She's like, well, you could help him, but at the same time, it's like disappointed that he is. It's not really happy. It's like kind of like, do you not realize what? Well, no, you don't realize what you're getting yourself into. But regardless, I will. Okay, and she gives him a card. So you had this on your person, which is a contract card. She's like, yeah, look, when the dragon appears, pull this out, and you're going to be able to capture the dragon. We don't have any Pokeballs or anything like that, but I mean, a card's the next best thing. So if I do, then yeah, you can make a contract with him. And Shinji does. He does happen to, get the dragon, and I guess the dragon accepts. I don't know how this works, but the grayish looking suit finally turns red and gives the crest of the dragon not only on the helmet but on the belt buckle, and Kamen Rider Ryuki finally appears and runs interference with the spider along with the bat over here.
Yeah. And when even when he uses sword vent, it becomes a much stronger sword now.
I forget what the style of that is, but it's a more of a curved Arabic style of blade. I forget the name of it though. But it does do the trick, and I'm like, it's kind of crazy in these shows, especially Power Rangers was a good reference to like, you have never done this before, and yet you already know how to do a rider kick, how to utilize the cards. Like, did this all just download into your head, Shinji? Do you just know? Do you just feel it? Regardless, Shinji winds up doing a rider kick and destroys the spider.
Yeah, and it's like the dragon breathes fire that boosts his kick.
Yeah, so it's a pretty cool rider kick, and beyond that, it's like, all right. So you would think that Ren would be actually happy about this. You would think, hey, blah, blah, blah. No, by his words, and I quote, so you are a Kamen Rider now, so it's gonna take a lot more skill for me to beat you. And yeah, Ren starts attacking Shinji,
which ends episode 2.
Which goes into episode 3 of Ren is really kicking Shinji's ass, like ridiculous.
Just to give you guys an idea, Ren is basically the experienced the experienced player that teams up with a relatively decent monster. Like, probably, basically, it's like he's like Henry from Digimon Tamer, where it's like Terriermon is not the strongest Digimon, but under an experienced tamer like Henry, he can actually like do a good job. While Shinji is basically like Takato, where like he's like the day one player who accidentally unlocks Akuma and becomes the Akuma main.
I mean, it's pretty much like how did Guilmon lose to Terriermon? It shouldn't be possible. You have more power and more skill, but you just don't know how to use it. As for in this situation, Ren is like not holding back at all. He is literally like taking this boy to school, and Yui is just watching from the other side of the mirror, which in all honesty,
this moment.
In all honesty, I'm like, bless her heart. But she sees it, no one else does. But it's like, which kind of raises an eyebrow. Wait, how could you see this, but no one else can, Yui? Like, what? How are you able to see all this? I mean, I know you're aware of them, but how do you know? Apparently, you said that you're either a victim or a rider for you to actually see all these things that happen. So. What are you? That's for later. But she is screaming, pounding on this window, just like telling Ren to leave Shinji alone, to not do it. And Ren is gonna do it. He literally is using his again, the Yu-Gi-Oh references. He's using a magic card to do the magical hats,
trick vent,
and just scatter himself all over the place. He's using traps and attack cards and everything. He's just and he's gonna kill him. He's gonna do it, but Yui breaks the mirror,
or at least she breaks the mirror next to the one that Ren uses.
Yeah, she literally destroys it and is yelling at him like, if you do this, if you kill him, I will never work with you ever again. And that's when I am just like, because Ren stops.
Yeah.
Ren just stops. He puts it all back. He's like, fine. I'm like, okay, this might be a very strong word to use, but Ren, are you in the cuck chair? Really? Like,
or maybe he's the attack dog.
I mean, like, you had him. Now, again, to us, the viewers were like, wait, what's going on? What's going on? I mean, a Kamen Rider fighting a Kamen Rider. That was one of the controversial things that this show had for many older fans of the series. If they did have a bad Kamen Rider, like the Shocker Soldiers, or even to a lesser extent Shadow Moon, it's like, but they were the bad guys. But Knight here has not shown us that he was a bad guy. So it kind of came out of nowhere that he started attacking and almost killing Shinji. Which is all right. All right. And obviously they leave. But first they get fined for breaking the glass, which, if the math is right, it's about 3K just to get that gold mirror. And apparently Ren has that kind of money just laying around. Mm-hmm. But he's making Shinji pay for it.
Nowadays, in American money, and only because Japan is having economic issues right now, 30K yen is not a big deal. It's like
20
it's like 200 some, like low end $200.
Yeah, it's not even 25. It's like but still, again, American money being over to yen, okay? Yeah. That's still $3,000 that Ren just pulled out like if it's just $3.
Yeah.
Who the heck has 3K just there? I don't know.
Yeah, currently it's 189 USD.
189, so not even 200.
Yeah. So just to be clear, in present day price, replacing this mirror costs less than getting a CSM.
And again, that was a big sheet of glass. That's only what it costs.
Mm-hmm. No wonder the glass broke so easily. It's cheap.
I mean, all right, fine. I mean, well, again, this is Japan has really upped its game in terms of its items out in public. So anyway, yeah, Ren and Yui leave, but obviously, Shinji's like, I'm gonna go talk to them because what the hell. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Yui kind of just rips into Ren and saying, I swear to God, Ren, if you attack him again, I am seriously gonna walk out. And he's like, you won't. You're like you need me as much as I need you. And it's just like, don't be a jerk, Ren. And he just rides off, which kind of makes us not like Ren for a moment in time, because it's like, what a tool. Like, what's his deal? We're not sure yet. But yeah, Shinji goes and talks to Yui. He does go back to work, which nothing really happens there. But he kind of does talk to Yui, and he does like, yeah, when I was investigating and all that stuff, I did come across that name you talked to me about. So what's up with that name? It's just like, that's my brother.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's like, so you're looking for your brother. Yeah, just happens, this and that. But, because again, she pulls out a photo of him. Oh, prior to this, Shinji does get a weird moment of him walking alone, that a mysterious man in the mirror is telling him,
must fight the other riders.
You must fight
the
other riders.
If you do not fight, you will not survive.
Yeah, he's in the mirror looking at Shinji menacingly while telling him this information.
Mm-hmm. He's just standing there, menacingly.
Yeah, pretty creepy, honestly. Just random dude in the mirror telling him that you have to kill the other riders, which, again, we only know of one right now. Not a lot, but only one. And yeah, he tells Yui that he saw this guy, and he said that they had to kill the Kamen Riders and this and that. And Yui again decides to be the precious little gem and just gives us more lore dump and telling us that, yeah, that's my brother. And when I was a little girl, I used to see these things, and he believed me. But one day no joke, he was forcefully taken away by family members, literally ripping him away from his little sister's arms. Like, what did the kid do?
Jelly, serenity.
Yeah, it's like, what happened? Okay, whatever, traumatic. But yeah, Yui stayed with their grandparents because both their parents are gone. And now she runs this tea shop that is going to be our headquarters.
Yeah.
Which,
it's
again,
a nice change of pace from coffee shop.
Yeah. At least we're doing something in. We didn't bring back the coffee shop until Kiva. So they took a break from it. Blade had a cafe. I'm not saying, Blade did, but,
Yeah.
Five at least.
But also, Dano had not one but two coffee shops. Three, if you count alternative timelines.
We have coffee on the train. I know that with Miss Japan World Booty. I know that. But
yeah. But also, you have the Milk Dipper with the main character's sister, or or the Garden Cafe in the alternate timeline?
Well, I mean, when they say a cafe, it's like, well, you assume coffee and all that stuff, but to say a tea house, like an actual tea house,
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no coffee? No? Okay. That's different then. I'm not saying I don't like coffee, but we've had coffee for a coffee house and a lounge for a very, very long time. It's nice to get tea once in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, she kind of just Lord dumps that apparently her brother made the decks. Excuse me, what? Yeah, Ren told me that he knew my brother, and that. So the cards, the transformations, this was all made by your brother.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what Ren said. Okay. Why? Why did he make this stuff? And well, she really doesn't know. She just says that I don't know. And I mean, it could be the reason why you and Ren are now Kamen Riders. It could be the reason why these monsters are now going around and killing people. I just know that he has something to do with it. I don't like it. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. Yeah, we don't know either. But Shinji, being the Boy Scout that he is like, you shouldn't think bad about your brother. I mean, he made this stuff to possibly save people and stop the monsters from attacking them. And I just like, Shinji, you are too precious for this world. You really are. Because remember, like not an episode ago, Ren tried to kill you. So if her brother made these cards, then that's probably the reason why Ren attacked you. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a fucked up situation, whichever way you slice it. But Shinji just gives the whole we have to think the best in people, blah blah blah. What is the main plot of this story right here in episode 3?
Well, basically, not much really happens in episode 3, but basically we see a bunch of antelope-looking monsters.
The Geisel. Yeah.
So basically, as I mentioned before, there's like different classes of monsters. So like we've seen a drag class and a wing class, Drag Rider and Darkwing. But Zells, like there's like a bunch of Zells, like Magnazel, Megazell, Gigazell, and what's really interesting is that different monsters even behave uniquely to their class. So, like for example, like the zebra ones, they always hunt in pairs. Dragretter obviously hunts solo, but Zells, they're always hunting packs. There's always a herd of them.
Which is kind of weird because, again, this is where we deal with the children in this episode. Not really, kind of just a setup, obviously. But, you know how kids are. Even when I was a kid, I got this from when I was in school about how the school was built over a cemetery, or like how they used to whatever, like, oh, that tree that's in the back was used to execute people, which kind of does frighten the children, but not so much. But it's like, okay, why are we setting up kids and why are we setting up their teacher? Especially when there's one scene that the kids, along with the teacher, are down a long hallway and a bunch of reflective surfaces. Windows, shiny metals, the floor is polished. I'm like, oh man, something's gonna happen here, isn't it? No, not here. It happens later. Because apparently the teacher who, was like telling the kids, get home safe and don't stay out too late, winds up being food for the Geisels.
Yep.
And just randomly going home one day, with a potted plant. The next thing you know, he gets picked off. I thought it was another spider, for crying out loud. I'm like, this again, like, no, that's not a spider. That is definitely not a spider, but the poor bastard sure as hell got lifted up in the air. He went higher than the Jesus guy did over in North Korea.
Yeah.
But yeah, we wind up getting, again, another missing case, and Rico and Shinji must investigate because the children know that their teacher is missing and they're trying to figure it out. Ren is honestly on the case, obviously, but you know, he's doing his own thing. Shinji does come into contact with one of them and does beat it, but then he bumps into Ren again, which him and his own mirror monster, which is a bat called Darkwing.
Yeah.
Not confused with the duck.
Darkwing Duck.
You know, like, yeah, we see Darkwing looming over a little girl.
And not long after she screams.
Yeah.
So Shinji, like, seeing what context he see, it looks as though Darkwing is trying to hunt after this little girl.
And yeah, no, he gets up into Ren's face and he's like, you know, well, yeah, by the looks of it, this looks pretty bad. It's like, yeah, we know that mirror monsters eat people. So are you? And you did say that mirror monsters do need to eat. So is it that you are feeding Darkwing? And Ren just like keeps quiet. He's not saying anything. He's like,
We're bleeding into episode 4, by the way.
Yeah, no comment on that. And we continue on the investigation because there are more people and apparently the school got attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ren said that there were multiples because they hunt in packs, and Shinji is like adamant that no, I killed it. I didn't sense any other monsters, so you're obviously lying. I'm like, Shinji, you're brand new to this. I'm pretty sure Ren knows what he's talking about, you know. Anyway, again, not much goes on in this episode, obviously. You know, we do get more like banter between like Shinji and his employers, obviously, because apparently Shinji got kicked out of his apartment.
Yep.
And now he's living at his job.
In other words, Shinji crawled so that Kenzaki could kick back.
Yeah. And, you know, Reiko kind of like rips him a new one, being like, work is work and it's not your friend's couch. You don't like blah, blah. But then here comes Nadeshiko with the terrarium and an iguana.
Mm-hmm.
Saying that this is the iguana's home and we're going to use the kitchen to put the iguana in. And I'm like, okay, I like her.
Yeah.
I like her. She's just like that random character in the background, just like, what is she doing? I don't know, but it's funny. Okay. And so either or, Shinji is now living at work, living under a desk, which is like, okay, good for him. Good
some people actually do that.
You know, it reminds me of the old days of going to conventions and, you know, if you're not sleeping on the bed, you're sleeping under a desk.
Yeah, you know, what's really interesting is back in the day, back in our 4Kids era, like the news crew of KTLA 5, the WB, they actually do like behind the scenes stuff where like little like bumpers during commercial breaks where they talk about like day-to-day stuff in the actor jobs or like family stuff. Like there's like this one anchor whose little kid is like it's it. It's like even though it's too it's past your bedtime, what do you think about the night news? Like it. But the reason I bring it up is that one of the bumpers involved one of the other members of the news team where because she does like late night news, like she shows like her office space where like she has like a crawl out bed area for her to sleep in before she comes back to work. Yeah. So that's why I bring it up.
Yeah. Again, I know some people would say, like, did they do this for Dragon Knight? Somewhat. And before anyone says, Dragon Knight was not a 4Kids property. It was not. Only Ultraman got the 4Kids. Got the 4Kids treatment, not Kamen Rider.
Yeah. It was on 4Kids, but it did not get 4Kids. Duh.
No. Let's see. We do get a little bit of backdrop with, again, Yui is just our fountain of information here. She actually kind of like, tells Shinji to back off of Ren and be like, you don't know him like I know him. He's fighting for something. And it's like, are you telling me the hard ass has a heart of gold?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, kind of does. So what is Ren fighting for? We don't know yet. All we know is that it involves a necklace with a pair of rings on it.
Yeah.
So could it be a family? Could it be a love interest? Something maybe to avenge their death? Again, that's all we know as of right now in this show. We already know what the heck this is all about, but regardless. Yeah, we wind up just defeating the other 2 or 3 gazelles that are around. Well, for Ryuki and Knight. Although I kind of felt like, wait a minute. Something is going on here. Something's going on. Because we do have a B plot in this episode. Reiko is doing another investigation because she finds out that a majority of the people that were being attacked or have gone missing were antiques collectors or had very rare hobbies in antiques. So she winds up going and finding out something, but then gets attacked by someone in an antique shop.
Oh, we're already on episode 5.
Very much. Because again, nothing much happened in 4.
Yeah. Well, Ryuki and Knight did work together to defeat the 2 remaining Zells. That's like the main thing.
But that's it. Like, what happened to the teacher? He's probably in their bellies. Yeah. And I thought gazelles were
in my belly.
And I thought gazelles were herbivores. Nope, not these.
Funny thing, certain herbivorous animals, when reaching a certain level of desperation, they do go into a carnivorous phase.
Well,
I've seen deer eat meat.
Well, no, it's the same thing with cows and other grazing animals. It's like, see, the thing is they're eating the plants, but there are insects on the plants. So they're not just eating grass. There are several other things that they're chewing on that, So,
I mean, the question really comes down to whether or not they deliberately eat other animals or not. Because, for example, gorillas, it's like their diet is like 90% tree bark and 10% termites. But the thing is, they're not like, they're accidentally eating the termites because they're eating tree bark and the termites happen to be there. No. Gorillas, they straight up dig into termite nests to pick out the termites. Like, they even figured out a way to use sticks like a fork.
Yeah, they are getting their meat. They're like, no creature is 100% carnivorous, yes, but I would say more of an herbivore. That's a 50-50. More so they're omnivores without them realizing it.
Yeah, being omnivores is like the best, speaking as an omnivore myself, because there's more diversity in what you can consume. It's like if there's a meat deprivation, You could eat some plants for a short period of time. If there's a plant deprivation, you could eat just meat for a short amount of time.
Yeah. So, but again, humans are the only ones that seem to believe that it's a black and white situation.
Yeah, or that it's like, oh, you just choose to only eat one or the other.
No,
but the thing is, it's like,
no, not the case.
Metabolisms.
Not the case. But yeah. Yeah, so episode 5.
Yeah.
Ryuki gets attacked from behind. We don't really know who it is. All we see is
we know that they have a crab deck.
Yeah, we see a crab deck, and we see a mysterious man with glasses and a hat, and wearing a trench coat. See, that's the thing about this show is people are bad when they got trench coats. It's a literal trench coat mafia here. We think Ren is a bad guy because he's got a trench coat. And then we see this guy with the crab deck who also has a trench coat. Now, regardless, poor Rika gets attacked, but she does manage to escape. And, hilariously, but not, it's more ironic that, back at the office, everyone's like, "Oh, where's she at? Where's she at?" And we're like, "No, she was out all night. I usually give her days off or let her sleep in when she's doing all nighters. Want my best reporters to be on their game. Unlike you, Shinji, that you got kicked out of your office and are late to work, even though you're living here."
Yeah, that's a funny part.
I don't know.
Yeah, but, just so you know, what's really interesting about Japanese work culture is you are required to come in half an hour early. It's not a spoken rule. It's just a rule that exists unspokenly. So if you're supposed to clock in at 8, you have to come in no earlier than 7:30 because coming in at 7:45 is considered rude. Incidentally, this is not a problem for me because I already do that here in America.
Oh, well. Either or. We do get the bomb that Reiko is actually in the hospital thanks to our nerdy pre-smart brain lady. Yeah, Reiko's in the hospital, if you guys didn't know that. I actually got a message like 2 hours ago telling me where she's at. And you gonna tell us when? Yeah, so again, she survived. She's all right. Although I'm kind of wondering where the eye patch came from. I'm like, why are you wearing an eye patch? Yeah. I don't know. Okay, it probably looks cool.
Maybe she's having second year syndrome.
Maybe, but she is literally just telling Shinji, like, just telling them, like, hey, this is what I was investigating, and that's what's happened. Whoever did this is like seriously targeting people who collect like antiques or something. And I'm like, is it, or is it just the fact that it was like maybe the person who owned the antiques may be involved? So far, we don't know anything. But yeah, Shinji goes out to investigate, and we just, go. Oh, we do meet a new character in this show, a young man dressed in all black in a trench coat.
Mm-hmm. It looks weirdly similar to an acquaintance of ours.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, like I'm trying to remember, did said acquaintance was he the one casted to play Scissors in our cosplay group? Because I know he was in our group cast. I just don't remember who he was supposed to play. But not gonna lie though, if he did do Scissors, perfect casting because he looks just like him.
Yeah, the character's name is Musashi Sudo. And for right now, we just know him as Mr. Sudo. Let's see. What do I have written here for him? He is or was a police detective.
Yeah.
Again, the time frame doesn't really state if he is or still is, but that's kind of what he is. He did find Ruriko after the attack because one of the people she was investigating or helping her in the investigation actually called for help. That's how she saved him. But yeah, now it's all up in the air about like, yeah, who attacked her and what is the deal with this with this antique shop? What's the connection here?
Yeah.
Let's see here. What else do I swear I Ghost Story. Let's Ghost Stories 2. Okay, here we go. The name of the episode, and we haven't even given the title of the episode. The Monsters Antique Store.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, Shinji meets gives a mysterious person a name card, realizing Shinji has put his name out there in terms of putting Yui's life in danger.
Mm-hmm.
We do get a brand new Kamen Rider in this episode.
Kamen Rider Scissors. He has like sort of a copper color, and his contract monster is Volcancer,
which is a crab.
Yeah.
So, yeah, some people argue that's like a gold color. I'm like, that's more copper than it is gold.
Yeah.
You know,
if anything, Odin is gold.
Accented. Yeah. But
but we do. Fair, Odin's monster is called Gold Phoenix, so I'll give it.
Yeah, we do get to see like Scizor with his contracted monster, and it's actually not a CGI monster. It's actually just a guy in a suit. You know, it's a basic crap.
It's a proper suit monster, just like the Zells.
So yeah. Not much is said between Scizor and Ryuki.
Yeah,
it's just a battle.
You know what's funny is what's called in the English name for this character is Incisor. I know they tried to change it to that because in America the word scissor kind of sounds sillier. But Incisor just does not work because Incisor is, the front teeth, so it just doesn't work. Biologically speaking,
you couldn't have given it like clips or something or clamps.
Yeah,
something
or Kamen Rider Vice.
Yeah, something. I mean, Incisors means like again, it's like wait, crabs don't have teeth.
Heck, you could have even called him Kamen Rider Blade.
That's true. That is true. Could have done something like that. Yeah, the confrontation does go, and even so much that Knight shows up and runs interference because both the contract monster and Scizor is literally kicking Shinji's ass. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I thought you wanted to kill Shinji, Ren.
Yeah.
But again, it's like, and again, Shinji just keeps asking the question, you're a Kamen Rider. Why are you attacking me?
Because if I do not fight, I will not survive. There can be only one.
Again, Shinji he's not getting it. He's not understanding it. It's pretty much been told.
You should not be fighting. Not like this.
Yeah. It's like, again, Shinji, bless your heart, but, that's not what we're here for. It's not what we're here for. Let's see what else. Interference does happen. We do get a conflict, obviously, between Scizor and Ryuki all over again. Ren decides to can go back to the antique shop to do an investigation of his own. Ren is not part of the journalism team here. He's just going out and seeing what's going on. He did notice that when Ruriko was attacked, she broke a mirror. Now, again, mirror be broken, but you're telling me the impact of that break was enough to shatter or to break the wall behind it. Pull it back for a minute. Because, yeah, Shinji is trying to make sense of everything of like, wait, there's more Kamen Riders, and why is all this going on? What's happening? No one's telling him anything. No one's saying anything to him. And he kind of does do an investigation previously at that antique shop before Ren does, leaving his calling card. And he does get a phone call from the attacker, which kind of puts two and two. It's like, you're the attacker, you're the guy, you're Scizor, you're the guy who was attacking me. Like, yeah. Then, but why? I'm not telling you why. So, all right. What happened?
Yeah. Oh, I appreciate that at the end of episode 5, Ren, who assumed that the shop owner was Scissors, like he investigates and he breaks a wall and he finds out that the shop owner is buried in the wall. Like Edgar Allan Poe's The Cat.
Yo. Yeah, because the impact of what Ruriko did gave us like, wait, the wall's broken. Why is the wall broken? And yeah, there is a body buried in the wall. Literally buried in the wall. And that's practical effects, ladies and gentlemen. They actually had someone buried in the wall.
Or at least a very convincing prosthetic.
No, behind the scenes, they actually did. Oh. They actually did. They actually filmed that scene like quickly, but it's like, yeah, the stunt guy was like, yeah, I've been in suits and whatnot. Claustrophobia was really setting in.
Yeah.
Being a part of that. I'm like, well, yeah, you're being buried in a wall.
I wonder, did they film it once? Because I imagine setting back up would be very difficult.
Yeah, I think it was just a one-shot thing because they're like, guys, Ren, you got to really sell it that, like, because again, I don't think he even knew that. Mm-hmm. I don't think the actor even knew that they actually had someone in the fucking wall. Because the look on his face,
because like going back to my favorite film of all time, the iconic jump over the 105 on ramp, they had to film that twice. It took 2 shots, and just so you know, the bus was destroyed in the first one, and they stole a second bus without the studio knowing, just to film it the second time. But that Boeing that got blown up, they could only afford the one Boeing. If they mess up that one shot, they're screwed.
Well, no, it's also the same thing with the Terminator. How many times did they do things without permits? Like such amazing shots and everything. It's like, yeah, we only had one shot to do that. We only had one thing to do. All right. So yeah, that was kind of like creepy as hell. That was like, yeah, we actually had someone in there. Now we go on to episode 6. The Mysterious Rider. Which this focuses more on Scizor and Knight. Yui gets kidnapped. Mm-hmm. She gets kidnapped.
Yep.
But by who? Again, a police officer. A police officer comes and asks her questions regarding her brother. And also the cases that have been going on. She happens to believe it. Mm-hmm. And we find out that, yeah, Mr. Our dear Mr. Scissors here is actually a corrupt cop.
Yeah. And a serial killer. Basically, he's Ted Bundy.
Yeah. See,
this is those of you who don't know, well, you guys have heard his name, but let me describe a little bit detail. This guy who looks like Bob Saget possessed by Satan. One thing he would do is he would disguise himself as a police officer, knock on people's doors, say, "Hey, there's a serial killer who's skulking around. Would it be okay if I investigate your house? You could be hiding in there." And of course, unsuspecting victims would invite him in, and then once inside, now the serial killer really is in the house. And the crazy part is, he was so handsome and charismatic, allegedly, that even while he was in prison, people sent him love letters.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And don't get me started on Richard Ramirez, but yeah.
Yeah, there's not much of a background story with him in terms of just him being a corrupt cop and a serial killer. As far as I know, he could still be working for the police.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going around killing people, but also they haven't caught him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, where's the body?
In the wall, apparently. But
yeah. Well, most of the bodies. Volt cancer just eats the victims. There's like no trace of behind because they're in the mirrors.
Well, I mean, it is a crab, and despite what people might say, yeah, crabs, lobsters, and all that stuff. Those are the bottom feeders, the cleanup crew of the ocean. So
yeah, what's it called? Yeah, you know when you think about it, this guy's basically Yoshikage Kira because Volt Cancer would be the killer queen in this scenario where it's like he kills all his victims without a trace, but there was that one victim that he killed before developing his ability, and that one victim is like all the evidence needed to pin him. So the shop owner is basically Rami Sugimoto.
Again, this was the wrench that a lot of people in Japan and a lot of old school Kamen Rider fans had a problem with, was the fact that a police officer, a corrupt police officer. Again, like I said, the whole thing with the cult and whatnot, that was years before this show happened. But even still to that time, they were still pulling people that were still lined in the pockets. There was a lot of heavy stuff going on in Japan. And I know Black did touch on that for like a very little bit, but we're talking about businessmen and conglomerates and maybe university professors, but never government officials or the police or like supposedly the good guys. This is pretty much what made the show controversial because this was more edgier of a Kamen Rider series that had been before.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I would say, even with Shocker or Destron or God or Black Sage, it's like there were like kaiji disguised as police officers, but the police officer was the disguise. It wasn't like the actual occupation. Here, this guy was already a police officer, a real police officer, and then he later becomes a villain.
Yeah. And it's like, well, he's a police officer. So, shouldn't he be on the side of justice? Well, what is justice? What is that to you? Because honestly, you would think a police officer, yeah. But the fact that this guy is giving off Ted Bundy vibes and just being an absolute creep throughout, again, how he kidnapped Yui was again, it's like just basic protocol. Come with me so I could take you to go to a safe house because it's not safe here, this and this and that. And he literally puts the damn arsenic to her nose. He basically just drugs her and then takes her off.
And then Ren blames Shinji for it.
And it's like, dude, Shinji was doing his own thing. Okay, you can't be blaming him because besides, you guys aren't even a team, so what the hell are you even going on about?
Yeah. Meanwhile, what's it called? The Detective Sugo visits Reiko in the hospital.
Yeah.
And it's like, any updates? It's like, I'm sorry, but there haven't been any updates. It seems that it wasn't even reported. I wonder why. And then she puts it together. It's like, it's awfully convenient that when I was attacked, you were the first person on the scene. And it's such a short amount of time. It's almost as though if you were the killer, everything would fit.
Yeah. Then the actual police show up.
Yeah. Crazy enough, Reiko from the hospital figured it out.
She's not their ish reporter for nothing, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, she winds up she just figured it out. But the police give chase, and they know who he is. They know it's like, come on, Suda, turn yourself in already. Only for them to get killed by the crowd. Man, this is getting too much.
Again, Yoshikage Kira.
Yeah, no, again, this is by typical writer standards today. Yeah, this is just be a normal show, but this is early. This is the third Kamen Rider in the Heisei. This was controversial back then, because not only did you go after children in the first 2 episodes, but now we have corrupt police officers, and you are killing police officers. A Kamen Rider killed police officers. And I know you're like, well, that's not no, they are Kamen Riders. Kamen Rider is not a singular term, it's plural. Everyone who has a suit is a Kamen Rider. So I don't want to hear it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we do kind of get a thing with Shinji and Yui about what's the deal? Like, obviously, you saved me. We do notice that Yui has a tear coming down her face, although I don't know it's actually from her or if it's from Ren.
Yeah.
We don't know. All we know is that it's kind of an awkward thing between the two. It's like, are you guys partners? Are you guys lovers? What exactly is this work relationship you guys have right now? I don't get it. But that'll be for a later date. Now we go back to Shinji. And we get some lore deposit on our former police officer. Apparently he was a police officer, but he had a short temper. A very, very short temper. And because of that, sometimes he would black out and certain things would happen. Unquote. Mm-hmm. But because he was a police officer, he would just, say, "Oh, it's a cold case," or it has no, there's no leads, there's no nothing. But apparently he got sloppy once, and since then he's been on the road, still in the same area though, mm-hmm. Which kind of makes me question the Japanese police department. But yeah. He also got the same message as Shinji did from Yui's brother about being a Kamen Rider and killing all the rest of them and blah, 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 so on and so forth. There can only be one.
Yeah.
Well, I guess so. I guess so, because we get a little confrontation between them.
Yeah. And so we get the epic scene where they transform together and go into the mirror world to fight each other. And this is the part of the American version where we get the iconic line, "Hey, you see that on your shirt? That's $1 million."
Although the one thing I will say that the American version that I don't know, well, again, it's America. Kamen Riders say henshin, which is just transform. Yeah. And the American, they say Kamen Rider.
See, in the pilots, they would actually say their own name, so we only actually see Len transform proper. in the pilot, and he's like, Kamen Rider, Wing Knight, initiate. And of course, Kid, he doesn't transform proper because like he transforms by accident and whatnot. But yeah, so that's what the original thing would have been. So imagine if it was like Kamen Rider, Dragon Knight, initiate. And low key, because I only had the pilot to work with, I wondered like, what if they all had the word knight in their name? Of course, they ended up not going with that, but like for example, it's like Kamen Rider, Grip Knight, Kamen Rider, Blast Knight, Kamen Rider, Veno Knight.
Just something because just the fact they say Kamen Rider, I'm like, well, that's lazy. That's lazy. So I'm like, at least, I know Zoo Ranger and the rest of the Sentais didn't have like a catchphrase or something prior transformation.
Well, did. Zoo Ranger had Dino Bakura.
Yeah, no, but that was it wasn't like again with Mighty Morphin where they say the catchphrase. Every single season is different of their transformation. Henshin is just a universal thing that every rider does.
Yeah. Like if anything, like there was some variation in the Showa era where it's like Rider Henshin Rider. Sorry. Henshin B3 X Rider set up. Or even like not saying it all. But in the Heisei era, they just say Henshin.
Yeah. Like Henshin just became the default. I'm like, all right. But yeah, that our little 2 cents on the Dragon Knight transformation. Regardless, yes, we do have the battle between Mr. Suda and Ren. So it's Scizor versus Knight, and not a bad battle, I will say. I kind of already know who's gonna come down and what's gonna happen, but the fact that it's like, okay, what just happened? I didn't see Knight land a hit. I didn't see Knight was so strong that he didn't need to land the hit. Just the force of it itself was enough to shatter the crab shell and break Mr. Suda's his crap deck. Which in doing so, it kind of already shows us, if the deck is broken, then all bets are off. So what does that mean? It's the same as what would happen if Shinji, if his deck dies, the dragon would eat him. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much what happens. Knight beats Mr. Suda, and the crab decides to literally lay into him. I know he disappears. He evaporates. But have you ever seen crabs eat?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's horrifying. I can only imagine. But yeah, Scizor is dead. He is gone. Yeah. No more.
When his deck breaks, he gets devoured.
Yeah, Mr. Suda.
His own monster.
Yeah, is gone, is dead. So what happens? The monster's still there, so we have to kill it. Yep. Which that falls.
And even though Ryuki lands the killing blow, Darkwing ends up eating its essence thing.
Yeah, that's because Shinji told the dragon not to.
Not a good move.
I'm like, Shinji, that's not what. Yeah, no. Shinji, no. But of course, Shinji is also kind of disgusted with Ren right now. Because
also, one thing I appreciate is that when Volcancer started eating Sato, Like he actually turned his head away. Like even Ren was disgusted.
Yeah, no, because again, it's a crab. So I mean, but then again, you're seeing someone literally get eaten by a monster, by a beast. So you know, not. I mean, why do you think people, when they say chew with your mouth closed, or proper etiquette in terms of eating, it's not a attractive thing to see anyone or anything eat, But regardless, yeah, Shinji, they go back to the cafe, they go back to their lives, except you could tell that Shinji is very much disappointed in Ren right now. He's very much upset with him, and Yui sees it, but they kind of just play it off as like, hey, let's just eat, let's have dinner, I'll make some fried rice. Mm-hmm. You could just see Shinji just like, Ren just killed somebody.
Yeah.
Ren literally killed a fellow rider. Yeah, he was a psychopath and an asshole.
He was a rider. Riders supposed to be good guys.
We're supposed to be the good guys. Shinji, just like police officers, you're not supposed to use your gun, but there are moments that it is necessary. Mm-hmm. So, again, just the look on his face. He's holding back tears. He's like shattered because of this. But never mind that. On the opposite side of town, we get to see another Kamen Rider. One dressed in all green, silver platings, and has a bull on the deck.
Black bull.
fighting a zebra.
Zebra.
So we don't know what this is or who this is. Is he friend? Is he foe? Is he sane? Is he insane? We'll have to find out next time.
Yeah. Well, what a hell of a 6 episodes we did just watch.
Yeesh. Again, 6 episodes. Normally in typical Rider style, they're setting up. Here there was set up, violence. Yeah. They did not stop. It just kept going. My God. No wonder older Rider fans were like, no, this isn't the Kamen Rider I grew up. No, this is not your daddy's Kamen Rider. Definitely not. I say this is more violent than black.
You know what's funny is that when Bionicle Mask of Light was syndicated onto Cartoon Network, onto Nami, in fact, like the bumper song goes, "This ain't your daddy's Lego."
Yeah, Bionicle was supposed to be the edgelord of Legos, which, I get it. I see it. But let's not go deeper down the rabbit hole than that, because you Lego people and your Bionicles, y'all have
sure beats Hero Factory.
Y'all have made things that make me question each and every one of you.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen some Bionicle custom builds.
I've seen Bionicle.
I get the feeling that you are not familiar with a certain Lego piece called deodorant.
No, I'm not. Mm-hmm. But all I know is that I'm like, well, if it can be thought, it can be done. So
yeah.
But that, ladies and gentlemen, is Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, the Japanese version.
Yes.
Episode 60 through 10. My God, that's a lot of episodes.
Yeah.
So if there was a hook, we're on it.
Oh yeah.
If there's a hook, we're on it because it's like, wait, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
We're just in 6 episodes and we've already had murder, disappearance, violence against children, someone buried in a wall, and a man getting decapitated and eaten by a 6-foot tall crab monster.
Yep. Just ain't your daddy's Kamen Rider.
No, it ain't.
Mm-hmm.
No, it is not. I swear, they tried to make Black like the adult edgelord Kamen Rider. And I'm like, no, sir, it is not. I have not given that title to a Kamen Rider series yet, other than Shin. But Shin itself is like, its own story. In terms of the main series, I think this is where the nitty-gritty actually started. Mm-hmm. This is where, again, thanks to our producers and our director, they said, we're going to take Kamen Rider and fuck it up. And fuck it up they have. This is not your daddy's Kamen Rider at all.
Nope. Yeah, my response to this batch of episodes.
Yeah, no, I will agree. I will say that is a thing because within just these 6 episodes, remove the movie we saw.
Yeah.
Just these 6 episodes have gotten us hooked and wondering and thinking, what's next, dude? If everything is on the that, no one's safe. Nobody's safe here. We're all
and also what I appreciate is these 6 episodes. They do a great job setting up some of the rules to this. For example, mirror monsters live in the mirror world. They can pull things in. They eat humans and other mirror monsters, but conditionally. They mostly eat humans. But if a human ends up inside the mirror world, they can only come out with a rider deck. If a person has a rider deck, they can only come back through the mirror that they explicitly came from. Meaning that if that mirror is destroyed, then they are trapped.
Yes.
If you stay in the mirror world for too long, you disintegrate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, contract monsters. Like when you're a rider, you can make a contract with literally any monster, as we will find out later on. But it just so happens that Knight is contracted with Darkwing, so Knight has the Bat theme. Ryuki made a contract with Dreg Redder, so he has a Dragon theme. Now, if a monster is contracted, they will work with the rider that they're contracted with, and their diet changes from eating humans exclusively to also eating other monsters. But if you don't consistently feed them other monsters, they will turn on you.
It's like Tamagotchi, but with a hook.
Yeah, and riders have to kill each other.
Yeah, that is the thing with this. Like, being a Kamen Rider in this show is not being a hero. It's not. It's literally a game of life and death. Mm-hmm. Not only for the people and its surroundings, but for the rider themselves. Because again, you don't fulfill your end of the contract with your monster, you're screwed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if your deck breaks, guess what? Your contract is terminated, and your monster will be the first to want to cannibalize you.
Yeah. So either or, it's a lot of people said, well, isn't that also what happened with Kamen Rider Beast? Yes, but Kamen Rider Beast didn't want to eat his rider. I mean, it came to that. It should have done that, but it didn't because apparently it has a conscience. These things don't. These things don't have that. In fact, I actually remember reading something that was like Hunter x Hunter, you know. Yeah. They did have that the thing with Nen beasts, you know. And I think the creator did reference Ryuki as something for that. Because it's like, yeah, you might have it, but it's not like your ally or your friend. It's pretty much just a contract, and if you're not fulfilling your end of the bargain, well, good luck, you know.
Yeah, like even Kurapika, like his chains make him a specialist type. But the thing is, the higher the restriction in the contract, the more powerful the weapon is.
Yeah.
So it's like his contract is these chains are like super overpowered, but I'm only allowed to use them against members of the Phantom Troop. If I use them on anyone other than the Phantom Troop, then I will die.
Yeah. So again, if you're not fulfilling the contract and feeding your Tamagotchi, get ready to get eaten, people.
Yeah.
But
in other words, in a game of life and death, you either live or you die. If you do not fight, you will not survive. Now get in the mirror, Shinji.
So far, ooh, yeah, no, I'm entertained. I am entertained here. So for it and all right now as an opening for these 6 episodes, we're gonna give it a 10.
Yeah. First 2 episodes definitely a 10 because it does a great setup. 3 and 4, I give them more of an 8 because it's more filler-ish, but it does a great job setting up that even though Len is working with you, he is not your ally. As sooner or later, he will come at you. And also, it establishes dynamic between different contract monsters because they are behaviorally different. While some monsters are solo hunters, others hunt in packs. And then episodes 5 and 6, are a 9 and 10 because it establishes, okay, now we know that there are more riders. We reinforce that we are not allies. We are enemies. We have to fight each other. And here are the consequences of losing.
And yeah. That's why this show, again, by more older standards, was kind of like again, this show, despite its popularity, in all of its entire season, it was actually not well received. It was not. My research has gone up that the numbers were actually pretty bad for Ryuki. But as the years went on, as things do, the cult following, and then finally it has just become all over around just like a doorway, a standard for most Heisei Kamen Riders, or for people to introduce fans to Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
Again, you might say like, "Oh, this show's so great, it's so good." Again, we're seeing it through our eyes. Imagine, again, it's like anyone now. Imagine someone like our generation seeing something through the lens of Gen Z or anything else. They'd be like, "Bro, that is not my Pokemon." You're right, it's not. It's something different, and it's something that, whoa, all right. Now those people that grew up watching, the kids who grew up watching it are now adults, and they praise it almost the same as we do. This is the one I hear more so about than I did Ichiko.
Yeah.
Ryuki was the one that everybody talked about. More so than Ichigo, more so than any of the.
Yeah, Ryuki is the one that's incredibly hyped in its generation, like how Black was in the previous one. Now the question is, will, unlike Black, Ryuki live up to the hype?
Will you stay the route that you're going with Ryuki? Because again, I even said that the first 13 episodes of Black were good. Those were good written stories. The scene, the pacing, the atmosphere. Will you keep this going is the question, because we all saw what happened with Black. Yeah. I'm hoping that you don't do that. I'm hoping that you keep pushing the envelope here, because we do not want a repeat of Black again.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to wait for next week to see what happens. What do the people have to say?
All right. We got actually a decent number of comments today.
Ooh.
Yeah. Axel Trovar says, so I actually started to watch this a couple of weeks ago, and this is also my first Kamen Rider experience.
Wow.
So for a lot of people, Dragon Knight was actually their first exposure. Mm-hmm. So I totally get it. But also for some people, Ryuki might be their first too. Because here's the thing. Yeah. Here's the thing. This is available on Tubi TV and on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And on the Blu-ray version, the movie's included. So
and obviously Ryuki is like one of the most accessible Kamen Rider series that you could find. You know, like other than
even more so than Ichigo.
Yeah, Ichigo's there, but again, Geats is there. 01 I've seen available. But yeah, Ryuki definitely is the one that, like, when it was on, when Tubi and Tokusatsu was still streaming it, that was the one people were talking about the most.
Yeah.
Every time it's like, it's a gateway. And if you do remember watching Dragon Knight as a child, now seeing the Japanese, it's almost the same as a kid watching Power Rangers and finally seeing the original Japanese footage for the first time. It's kind of a trip, isn't it?
Yeah.
So good on you for starting on Ryuki. Hopefully your journey is going well.
Yeah. Yeah, and for those of you who have been watching our podcast and you haven't really watched the seasons we've already reviewed, and you're just listening to us talk about a show that you're not able to watch for whatever reason, fortunately, you have the opportunity to watch a season with us, because like I said, in addition to the Blu-ray release, this is available on both YouTube and on Tubi. All 50 episodes are available online on multiple platforms. And in the case of Blu-ray, you also have the actual movie. I have the movie poster for the movie right here. Yeah, right here. But yeah, so this is one of those rare moments. Not since actually Kamen Rider X on Blu-ray came out after we finished it. But you still have the chance to watch, Black RX, Amazon V3, Kuga, and V3, Amazon, Black RX, and Kuga are all available on Blu-ray, so you can watch those with us. But yeah, right now, Ryuki, and we love you guys. Thank you for watching with us. So do you think the show does Battle Royale concept better than Gojuju? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, Gojuju honestly was 50 years of so again, but the thing was with Gojuju, from my understanding, obviously it's not going to be gritty or adult, obviously. Mm-hmm. It's not. Kamen Rider does have that advantage over Sentai. The fact that we Gojuju being like a battle tournament and an anniversary series, I'm like, seemed very lighthearted compared to the theming of what you're trying to tell us here. I feel like this is like, I think Ryuki did it better. But
yeah. And like I said, I was like not super hyped about Squid Game when it came out because I already saw Ryuki beforehand. And then when Geats came out, it's like, oh, it's a ripoff of Squid Game. But Squid Game is a ripoff of Ryuki. So it's a ripoff of a ripoff, but also it's part of the same franchise as the original.
I don't know if we could say it's a ripoff. I mean, obviously, not to give spoilers, there's only one prize, and that depends on what the person says. As for Squid Games, it's all just about money.
Yeah, money. But yeah, no, yeah, but let's be honest. Back in the day, and even now, any tokusatsu is considered a ripoff of Power Rangers.
Whatever. I will say that Dragon Knight actually did do a good job bringing the Japanese to America in terms of what they had for toys. Apparently, the Ryuki and the whatever they call it in Dragon Knight were almost very similar in builds. Just the electronics were different.
Mm-hmm. So between Ryuki and Knight, which has the better suit? Oh yeah, Knight, no question about it.
Knight. I mean, just by looking at him, he has a cape, he has a javelin.
Yeah.
Just not that he's more well put together, but again, it's like, well, imagine if Knight was in Ryuki. But again, those compound eyes are what really is like really is what the that kind of distracts from the badassery of the Knight motif of the Kamen Rider.
Yeah, I think the compound eyes were just there to show familiarity.
It's just like, by default, he's the Kamen Rider. By default, that is our Kamen Rider. That is our guy, because they all pretty much have to have that in some way. I know people will argue that, well, Hibiki didn't have it, Kiva didn't have it, Wizard didn't have it. No, it's there. It's just not the shape that we were familiarized it with.
Yeah. And also remember, Hibiki was not intended to be a Kamen Rider.
No, Hibiki was not a Kamen Rider. That was a decision made later.
Yeah, after they already started filming.
I mean, Dragon.
It wasn't even until like the Nui episodes that they even referred to the characters as Kamen Riders.
Ryuki itself was not supposed to be a Kamen Rider series until like such events happened that they're like, no, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's see how far. But we're gonna do different then. Okay.
All right. So this is one of two Kamen Rider series to receive an American adaptation. Yes. Yeah. And it was a superior one because, let's be honest, Saban's Rider, Americans hated it. The Japanese hated it. Ishinomori screamed in his deathbed, "Never let Saban adapt my precious baby ever again." I'm exaggerating, of course, but...
Yeah, no. By luck, Ishinomori sensei was already passed on at that point before that happened. But if he was alive, I'm pretty sure he would have.
Saban's Rider came out in 95. Ishinomori died in 96, 97.
Okay, either or. It's like, regardless. I mean, here's the thing about, adaptations about the work. Ishinomori was not that happy with the Black series when it. I mean, for the first couple of episodes, he was cool with it, but he had some words to say because he's like, that's why they made Kamen Rider Shin, and made it a movie instead of a TV show.
Yeah, and he even had a cameo.
Yeah, and so regardless, apparently by my research, I did find out, or this is just what people have said from Japan, that Ishinomori actually had this concept for a versus rider, something along the lines years ago, and and of course looking into that along with what happened with 9/11 and what they were going to do, so the producers found out about it. They talked to Ishinomori's son and they looked into some of his work and whatnot, like what can we do, and so pretty much his son gave the approval for Ryuki. So I feel that there is some hope with this adaptation of Ishinomori's ideas. Not a story he made, but just his ideas of what he wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, again, the American adaptation, I did not see Dragon Knight when it was. I saw it vaguely. I was vaguely aware of it. But from my understanding, a lot of people have said, and again, this is actually factual, Kamen Rider Dragon Knight actually won awards for its choreography and its writing.
Yeah, and can you say that Power Rangers ever got an Emmy? Nope.
You sure as hell Masked Rider didn't get anything, and the thing with Masked Rider was, look, we know, okay, Saban didn't give a rat's ass. Just look at it. Watch it. No, seriously, watch it.
Yeah.
Did not care. Did not care. He did. One day he did, and the next day he didn't. Because
mind you, a Masked Rider is what Cybertron could have been.
I feel like that. You know what? If it had come out during the time that VR Troopers was a thing, maybe they would have given more love to it. But I feel as though, like, just watching it.
Yeah. VR Troopers felt like more passion was put into it.
Yeah.
Masked Rider was more like, let's throw darts on the board and see what sticks.
That's why it's remembered more, and also available on Tubi TV to watch. People remember it. They remember the shows. They were so good. Yes. And as for Masked Rider, it's like, yeah, they just didn't care. And I'll even say the same thing for the Beetleborgs. It's like, they just didn't care.
I would say people remember Beetleborgs more than VR Troopers. But the thing is, when you rewatch it, like, which one aged better? I would say VR Troopers and Beetleborgs are basically Simple Plan and Blink 182.
Yeah, no, but again, it's like the story-wise, what aged better? What was the better storytelling? Both Masked Rider and Beetleborgs. Yes, we remember them. Oh yeah, but it's like, but can you seriously remember, like, a plot line or a story of that didn't involve, like, some dorky kid wanting to cosplay and impress a girl, but then caused this entire, like, tri-state county area to be infested by intergalactic monsters from a comic book?
I remember the first episode of Beetleborgs I've seen was the episode 4, which had that bear. The monster of the day was literally a bear.
No, that's only go watch B-Fighter. Go watch Kabuto.
Yeah. But I will say this. I do have certain fond memories, both old and new.
Yeah, VR was great. VR was, and again, we had a chance to speak to the cast and even some of the villains. David Carr, who was Blackheart, and he literally said he took it as like the Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader storyline between him.
He got married to one of the actresses.
Yeah, wound up marrying one of the skirts. So
yeah. And they're still married.
Yeah, still married. Anyway, next question.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Ryuki and Knight,
What?
I guess was the next word, but they were what? I don't know. So who do you consider as the number one writer? Oh, Kabuto.
Like number one rider, like in this show or just in general? In this show, you would say it has to be Knight with how he is. I mean, Shinji's just a goof. He's pretty much like he's the kid with the bright eyes and full of hope.
Yeah, he's the jobber.
Yeah, that's who Shinji is, and bless him for that. We need people like that in this world. But if you're trying to say like who fits the Kamen Rider mold more, Ryuki or Knight, it's Knight.
Yeah.
You know? But
like throughout the series, Knight will feel more like the main character than Shinji. And then when you get to the last couple of episodes,
Yeah, I know some people did not like it when I was referencing Zet's Baku to Midoriya, you know, because they're like, that's a stretch. No, that's not a stretch. You know, Midoriya is Shinji. Mm-hmm. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Midoriya is Shinji.
You know, one thing I did not appreciate is in Black Clover, people compare Asta and Yuno to Naruto and Sasuke. But that's not a correct comparison. I mean, the general premise of the series, sure, yeah, it's the Wizard King is basically Hokage. But the thing is, Asta and Yuno are not Naruto and Sasuke.
When I say
they are like, Might Guy and Kakashi Hatake.
When I give a reference, I'm not trying to say, oh, they're exactly no. I'm talking about like their aura, who they are as a person. Like you look at Shinji and you look at Izuku Midoriya, and you're like, they're bright-eyed. They have a concept of what a hero should be, and that's Shinji in these 6 episodes, especially towards the end. It's like Shinji was on the verge of crying because of what he saw, and it's like, yeah, can you imagine? I want to be a hero, but then you see what it is to be a hero, or the concept of it, and you're like,
that's why I compare Kamen Rider Tycoon to Midoriya.
It's like I don't want this. Like I don't. Or it's like, no, this is what it entails. So that is it. That is it, Shinji.
Right. So I have to see the movie to see all 13 riders in action.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I mean, technically, was that even a movie? That was pretty much like Choose Your Path.
Well, I mean, the 13 Rider special maybe, but like the actual movie, you still don't have all of the riders. You have 6 of them.
You have like you have like 6, and then like a movie version of one of them. So
yeah, because it's like you have Ryuki, Knight, Zolda, Oja, Fem, and Ryuga, and it's like, oh yeah, the 6 of you are the last ones remaining.
Yeah.
I watch Dragon Knight on every time they switch to Kamen Rider footage. It feels like a really bad anime English.
Here's the thing. Really. Okay, I did see that with certain. We were shooting differently as compared to the footage in Japan. That's the thing. It's kind of
2009 is when people started doing HD.
It's the same thing with what happened with Mighty Morphin. Is a good example, because you would have the American footage and then you would go to the Japanese footage and you could just see the quality of film.
Oh, it's even more blatant. It's even more blatant in Car Ranger and Power Rangers Turbo.
Yeah, no, it's like we're already filming at like this amount of like whatever it is, and yet they're still using this, which is like, yeah, no, that's why I say like the quality is what really you could tell. This is American footage, this is Japanese footage. So
but I will say this, I love a lot of the creative liberties they did with Dragon Knight.
Oh yeah. They really did. They really expanded more on this show than what they didn't make it an Americanized show. They took the Japanese and said, okay, we can add more. We can.
Yeah. I would say Dragon Knight crawled so that One Piece can run.
Well, at this point, we had the 4 Kids dub. We wouldn't get that until like.
No, but I mean, as far as making an American version that's different but improves on the original, like Dragon Knight was the original Netflix One Piece.
Yeah, no, if you want to say like an Americanized adaptation, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and the reason that it worked out is the same in both cases. The person in charge of it was someone who's passionate about the source material. Yeah. All right. Did Len do the same to Kit? No, he did not. At no point did Len ever attack Kit outside of, we're going to do some sparring so that you become a better fighter. Outside of that context, we never see Len fight Kit.
No, we can't have that in an American show. Of course not.
Yeah.
In an American show, we can't have the heroes fighting against one another. You got to be hard. You got to be tough, but you can't be violent against. You can be violent against the other characters, just not the main.
And Frank, and honestly, it's like the premise for Dragon Knight is everyone has a mirror counterpart. Len is the one from the mirror, so he knows the mirror versions of all the writers. He just doesn't know our side version of the writers. And he got to meet Kit before Kit became a writer, so he knows, oh yeah, he's definitely not working for Xaviax. So I have no reason to fight him, but I also don't want him getting involved.
Yep.
Yeah, Agito did it first.
Well, Agito was the first, but then again, it's like, how many people talk about Agito?
Yeah.
Like, ask yourself that question. Go onto the forums. Go talk to anyone. How many people bring up Agito or Ichigo? It's normally Ryuki is what we get to hear about, and that's the one that mainly sticks.
Yeah. Yeah. Is he hot? No idea.
I have not a clue.
Unlike Master Rider. Yeah. That's it, guys. We hope you enjoyed. Please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon to stay notified for our latest videos. We discuss Kamen Rider Ryuki, Kamen Rider Z, Ultraman Cosmos, and Super Space Sheriff Gavan Infinity. Check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show, where we discuss video games, vlogs, celebrities, movies, TV shows, that sort of thing. And of course, if you want to say hi to us in person, we'll be at the following conventions at the following dates. Robo Toy Fest, May 31st at the Burbank Marriott Convention Center. So that's a month and a half from now. So we hope to see you guys then and there. And then August 28th through the 30th, Pasadena Convention Center, where they just recently announced Gal Blue and Go on Black as additional guests.
Yeah. Oh, not Futahara this time? We're not getting Go on Red. It's Go on Black.
I'm pretty sure Furuhara will be showing up later on.
Man, he's cool. He's cool.
Yeah, I know he's going to show up because and honestly, I think the reason why Go on Black is there is probably for the same reason why the other two Go Kaijers are coming this year, because Furuhara had a really great time at Robo Toy Fest and Power Morphicon. He brought it up to his fellow cast members, and probably Go on Black was probably the only one who's both interested and available, because we don't know what the other 5 Rangers are up to, because there's 7 of them.
Getting gold and silver, they're still very big right now.
Yeah, so it's gonna be since Takahashi Noe is still getting work. I'm impressed that we got him last time.
Yeah.
So if we follow the same trend as the Go Kaiger cast, if Go on Black enjoys his experience at Morphicon, very likely both he and Furuhara will bring it up to the other cast members. Guys, you gotta come here. It's a great experience.
We're aiming to get Kagurashi to show up.
Yeah. I know we wanted to Red Racer and Boken Red to show up, but Yeah, but yeah, no, like even not at Morphicons, like it's like when Japanese actors get to enjoy meeting their fans here in America, they will be more inclined to show up to more events. So yeah, I really hope to see more. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get some redemption arc from last Morphicon because I did not get to spend time with any of the actors except for like 3 seconds with Ozawa-san, but it's only because of I was at the right place at the right time. Yeah, but yeah, like I got to have my redemption arc with Turbo Red, but I still have to get my redemption arc with O Red and change Pegasus. So here's hoping. But like my real goal, King Kosugi.
Yeah, Kane Kosuke is definitely one that needs to happen.
Yeah, he is actually really popular in Japan right now. Yeah. And also like a lot of people I met are really fond of me because I make this one joke about myself being Kane Kosugi because I do not speak Japanese. Yeah. Kosugi Kane Gotoku. Yep. But with that in mind, guys, we hope you enjoyed. We hope you have a great rest of your week. It's Wednesday. Well, now it's Thursday. And we hope to see you again real soon. We love you guys. Goodbye.
Good night, guys.